Well, the announcement has been made, and now we know for sure that on the third Saturday in April, Georgia will be having its annual G Day. It's going to be on April 16th. We don't know the time yet. That's not been announced, but it's almost certainly going to be an afternoon, sort of a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock game. That's Georgia's traditional time for G Day. And, 2022 G Day is going to be an interesting opportunity for the Dogs to sell recruits on what the national championship Georgia Bulldogs look like, not just this spring, but what they can look like moving forward. It really is an important day in the calendar because there's only so many home events that you can control, and the spring game is one of them. We know that G Day made Kirby famous. He really rolled the dice on that and got it right in 2016. I'm going to tell the story of that one day. But before I do, I want to make sure everybody's taking advantage of DAWGSTRUCTION. Get this right now before I have to finalize the orders for how many books are printed. That way, you'll still get yours in this first order. DAWGSTRUCTION, thanks to everybody who's watching this, you want to make sure you get it. Why? 80 plus pages, full color, stories you can't see anywhere else. I looked at the proof today, digital form. It really does look very good. And the cover is awesome. People are buying two and three at a time, and there's an order right there. You just make sure you're taking a look at it. It's right down below. You can click on the link. But G Day, I don't know how many people will be at this G Day. I think it's going to be more than 50,000. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that about 93,000 people show up again. Georgia football is a cultural phenomenon. It has always been a cultural phenomenon. And now that you're in the Goldilocks days at in between the hedges, people are really interested in what just being there. And I understand it. Sanford Stadium is one of the most beautiful settings in sport. Having been to Augusta, the Kentucky Derby, the Rose Bowl, all of the U.S. Open, all of the high level spectacles that are out there, there's just not a lot of places nicer than Sanford Stadium in America. And to get a chance to go uh, check out this program that is knocking on the door of national championships every year now is something people want to take advantage of. I don't blame them. I think it's a great opportunity to go be in Athens. And Athens in the spring is really tough to beat. I can let you know that right now. Really tough to beat. This will be about 2 weeks after the Masters. I don't know when Easter is this year, but I know it's not this weekend. No, it's the next day. Oh boy, that's not. My wife's not going to be down with that one very much. But um, you know, I, I think that's tough. I think that's tough for a lot of recruits. But if you're going and coming back same day, then it's no big deal. If you're out of the state, recruiting, then having it just before Easter, you're probably going to be gone anyway if you're going to make this travel. So for guys in North Carolina, this would be tough. Maybe some guys in Florida, but if you're flying to Athens, you're going to have to sacrifice Easter if that's something that you celebrate. For me, I'll be having to book it back home uh, uh, after that one as fast as possible because I know it's not going to be a lot of goofing around Sunday morning when you're getting ready for Easter. Nonetheless, I appreciate people ordering us an order right there for DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you're taking advantage of that while you can. Um, but the springtime in Athens is tough to beat, and I think the big thing to me is that it's an opportunity to showcase what you've got, where you're going with your program to recruits, and it's a barometer on where your program is going into the fall. It's the last organized activity with pads on for Georgia until August. It's hard to beat Georgia, the state, in April. It's just hard to beat. And this is a good example of, there's so much to do. You start with the Masters, which is the week before G Day, and there's not going to be any more Masters and G Day the same weekend. I'll say this about that dilemma: it's not a dilemma. You just go to the Masters. If you have badges and you're thinking about going to G Day, you don't. You go to the Masters. This is not a discussion. Well, it's not a discussion anymore because that's long gone. But there was a lot of complaining about that. I thought it was over complained about, but there was a lot of complaining about that. Now, personally, I would love one of these years when Easter is not the next day to have a Saturday night G Day. I mean, I think that would be awesome. Now, I know that will not happen because I know that there are plans that they can set things to where they get guys in the morning, they play G Day during the day. If guys want to go home, which a lot of most prospects go home, but guys who are committed and stick around, you know, they can do that with an afternoon game. You can choose to stick around. With it being Easter the next day, I don't know that a lot of guys will stick around. But let's just say Easter's not the next day, okay? You could have a Saturday night in Athens in the spring. That would be awesome. I'm telling you right now, that would be that would be awesome. But I think they're not going to do that. They're never going to do that because they like the way they're doing things and it's working. I'm just saying, a night game is something people always talk about. They're very eager. They're very into it. But with the setup of spring games, so much of post game, you want to be able to schedule that out and give your program the ability to recruit guys as best you can in that moment. And I think that that's why it's always earlier. Now we don't have TV times or a TV network for this thing. So the likelihood is that this is going to be a 2 o'clock game either on ESPN2, ESPN, or the SEC network. A season ago, everybody except Alabama was streaming, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, okay. Now don't totally hold me to that. I'm going off memory. I wonder if they're going to put all 14 spring games on ESPN streaming service to where people have to buy it if they want to watch it. I would not be surprised by that at all. The only caveat to that would be possibly Georgia and Alabama because they both, have, they're the national powers of the moment. Some, the two of them really have been national powers since 2017. Um, but the goal there for ESPN and Disney is to raise revenue, and you raise revenue by charging people money. And if you put it on ESPN, you already got that money. If you put it on SEC Network Plus, or SEC Plus or ESPN Plus, whatever it's called, that's new money. So it's going to be one of the two. I mean, the question is, how many people would really watch a Georgia spring game? My suspicion would be about a million, maybe two at the most. It's not going to be a real big number. How many people would stream it? I don't know. 200,000, maybe 300,000. And 200,000 times five, boom, right there. That's a really big number in terms of just monthly cash that you're bringing in. It's a drop in the bucket for ESPN, and excuse me, for Disney and ESPN, but that's real money, and that's where everything's going. So I'll be curious to see what happens there. But for the Dogs, this gives you the chance to celebrate the national championship, probably for one of the last times, and then recruit. I mean, you'll give the chance to see Gunnar Stockton. You get the chance to see Gunnar Stockton for the first time. You get the chance to see Carson Beck. Get the chance to see Brock Vandergriff, and starting quarterback returning Stetson Bennett. So you really need to. It would be very curious to see all four of those guys. You're not going to see the running backs very much. It will basically be a throwing competition like it was a season ago. Um, but this team is loaded up, and I'm not expecting them to win the national championship. I'm not. but there's only one team I'm expecting to win it, which is Alabama, and I'm not really expecting quote unquote them to win it. They're just a favorite. And guess who's number two? The Dogs. So we'll just see how this progresses. We got a long way until G Day. Got a long way till Easter, and we'll just see how this progresses from there. Make sure you're getting Dawgstruction. It's really worth it, y'all. It's a great value. We'll see you over on the website. Thanks for watching.